Ciao ragazzi, Inter Worldwide, global interactions where we keep connecting with all you Inter fans around the world. The big Inter platform that connects you all around the world, and we'll be hearing from a fair few people tonight. But it's a host of favorites to start it off. Christian Rivas, ¿cómo estás, man? How you been? Long time no see. I think this is the first time you're back on the channel for this year, man, 2021.
Well, I've been on lockdown here in DC because some people don't know how to act.
Yeah, I've been seeing, but it's good that we're seeing you, man. So we hope everything's safe over there with you. And I'm sure you've got a lot to say, man, to vent out on Inter Worldwide. Mario, always smiling no matter what. We could take the biggest loss in the world, and I just call Mario, go, can you come on the channel today, man? You're the only way I'm going to feel better.
You know how it is. Has some audio problems in the background, but hopefully that's settled.
Yeah, all good, man, all good. 2-2 against Roma, a fixture that we all predicted would pretty much end like this, a fixture that usually ends in a draw and one of the toughest grounds in the country to go to for a result. So a draw away to Roma, not a bad result, even for a team challenging for a title. But the manner that we lost leaves a sour taste in your mouth, considering we actually sort of had them on the ropes at 2-1. We looked more likely to make it 3-1 than they were to make it 2-2. Hakimi was actually being left more space as the game went on because Roma were fatiguing hard, and I was wondering why every single ball wasn't going through him. And then Antonio Conte, who I think was getting everything right up until that point, or up until we scored the goals after what he did at halftime, makes some very, very questionable substitutions. So I'll start with you, Christian Rivas, bro. What were your thoughts on Roma altogether? And let's dissect, why Inter couldn't hang on for 2-1, man. And just before you do that, I will bring out something that I need to say. Against the big teams this season, Lazio, we had them at 1-0. We drew. Atalanta, we had them as well. Drew. And now Roma again. So we don't seem to be able to hold the lead very well against the bigger sides.
So honestly, from the start of the match, you guys talk about we could have gone 3-1. We really could have gone 2-0 down, if you want to be real, because first half, they had us on the ropes. About the subs, they were literally skill for skill, so you can't really say it was very questionable. You got to look at, we just literally played 3 games in the span of 10 days, and it's been literally the same lineup over and over and over. These guys are drained, bro. Like, what'd you expect? Also, it has to go a lot with what I was saying earlier, the mentality. The mentality is trash. It is what it is. You can hear Conte and Oriali shouting, go forward, press forward, stop dropping back. And all these guys kept dropping more and more deeper. So, I mean, there's a lot to dissect and blame there. I think it's a mentality thing. I think it has to do a lot with the pressure. A lot of Inter fans don't help these guys out either. I mean, granted, they get paid millions of dollars. They should be able to deal with it. But in the same sense, it's still a mental thing. Like, yo, it doesn't help all these Inter fans going on every single Inter page, writing Conte out, or Lukaku sucks, or Lukaku can't control a ball, or Alexi sucks, or Vidal sucks. Gagliano out. Yo, it's a mental thing. These guys are sitting there like, shit, if I mess up, then I'm going to have to deal with all these people berating me. Who was the player 2 seasons ago that had to delete their Instagram?
From our club?
Yeah, from Inter. Remember that?
I don't know, but do you remember when Davide Santon was subbed on for Icardi when we lost to Juve? Is that the one? His house was like rocks were thrown as well and stuff like that. He had like angry people. Pretty much the whole reason why he decided to leave was like, nah, I've pretty much been made a scapegoat every time I get onto the pitch. I can't do this anymore for my mental health.
Bro, and some games he won't even be bad, and they still make him the scapegoat. And he even deleted his Instagram, because people kept going on there talking about his wife, his kids, his mom, his family. Like, bro, like, yo, does it not click in some of your heads? I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Fair enough. Mario, your thoughts on the result to Roma, and I'll ask you a little bit more. There's some of the fans that are, a little bit more pessimistic and are pretty vocal and aggressive today that are saying that, pretty much we're done, we're doomed this season. Still plenty of time, still a lot to go, but Where do you think the team goes after a performance like that? Because I know that you were shaky on the mentality after the Sampdoria game, big time.
I'm going to start off with I did not watch the game, as my favorite line goes. I saw the scoreline, and just how we predicted, a tie. I mean, what do you expect? Roma is they're not horrible, but
They're informed.
that's what I'm saying. They're in form right now. They're in form. So a draw with that, I'll take. I don't mind. You still get a point. But like the mentality, it's still in that transition phase because we brought in Marotta, we brought in Conte, I almost said Conte, and you see it slowly, not dramatically, but slowly changing little by little, and he's trying to get everyone on the page where they start to have that championship winning mentality, play with your chip on your shoulder sort of thing. Like act like you've been here before, and we see it slowly. We're in second place right now, 3 points behind Milan, who have been having a fantastic season. You can't fault them whatsoever. So to take a point from Roma, sure, it's not ideal. Like we lost, coming off a loss from Sampdoria, you would hope that this team would bounce back, but it's annoying to just listen to people just bitch about every little thing that Conte does. Like, sure, we pay him 12 million. You're gonna go pay another coach another 4 or 5 million on top of that because you're just gonna keep paying coaches every week. Conte loses, fire him. Spalletti loses, fire him. Next thing you know, Guidolin's going to come in. He's going to win 2 games, lose, fire him. You're going to go through 17,000 coaches in a year just because, like your emotions are just up and down. It's like a roller coaster. People just have to stop. Just trust Conte. And then when I say, how many coaches have been fired because they finished second? Sorry, but they're not playing to win the league. They're playing for Champions League. So like that argument doesn't even it's not even relevant at that point. You still have half the season left, more than half the season. We played 17 games. Like just chill. 3 points is all it takes for Milan to lose first place. If we were in 7th, 8th place, okay, fine. I have a different mindset going in because I'm like, okay, we're clearly regressing since last year, but that's not the case. We're in second place. Sure, you don't have Juve being Juve. They're in a transition, rebuilding kind of phase sort of thing, but I don't lose faith just yet. I mean, it's still really, really early on. And like Christian said, we got game after game after game. You got to rotate the squad. You can't be playing Hakimi 90 minutes where he's playing 5 games in 2 weeks. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man. I'm pretty sure a lot of the fans will agree with what you're saying. I think it's just a lot of the mental fragilities that we've seen in the past are just still there, and that really comes with a squad that's still inexperienced to a certain degree at challenging for honours or challenging at top level. So these players have got to grow, and I think they've done a fantastic job at growing so far. I feel like a lot of the pieces of the puzzle are there, managerial-wise, tactical-wise, and physicality-wise, and we're just really waiting on that last piece of the puzzle of our psychological strength to make it complete. So, I'd like to welcome another guest to the stream today. He is the writer of our tactical analysis section and contributes heavily on Inter Worldwide. He also does the fan cams for us as well. Mo, how you doing, my friend? Welcome.
How are you doing, guys? I'm so glad I came to a podcast that people are not pissed.
All good, man. We always have good chats here, bro. So it's really good to have you on. So before we move to some comments from people that are flowing in right now, and I'll start bringing them up on the screen, Mo, what were your thoughts on the Roma match? Give us a little bit of an intake of how you saw the second half, a little bit different to the first half tactically, and basically do your thing, man. What did you make of it?
It's just intensity and desire. This is what it is about. It's just desire and intensity and players going for it. I loved the 25 minutes that we played. I think they were great, man. We just showed everyone that we can just do it. We went for it. I enjoyed every single minute of it. But then I can see what Mario is saying, that I'm a big Conte fan. I think Conte brings us something that we haven't had for a while, which is a big team feel. we feel like a big team, honestly, all the time, man. Every time we play somebody, everybody comes to away, home, they adapt. And I kept saying this over and over. They adapt to our style. Everybody. Even Real Madrid, they changed the way they play completely just to match this guy Conte. I know he has his flaws and all the stuff that people talk about, but the guy, he makes Inter bigger, to be honest. I know that everybody's saying he makes 12 million, but talk to people from other leagues, like talk to the La Liga fans and Premier League fans. Inter now, we are on the map again just because of, oh, Conte is here. This guy can bring something to this club. Coming back to the what happened second half, I think what happened is at the final 10 minutes of the first half and the beginning 20 minutes, we allowed the midfielders to push forward. You remember that Vidal when he had this 1-2 after Brozovic gave him the ball between the lines and he almost had a shot, and then in the second half he had another chance. In the first 20 minutes, nobody was allowed to go near the 18. I was watching the game again, trying to do the tactical analysis, trying to take pictures, and I noticed something. In the first 20 minutes, we did not have any of the three midfielders going inside their 18. And this is something that I said we need a little bit of adventure from our midfield to go inside the 18 and try to score. We can't have a midfield that the top scorer in our midfield is 2 goals. This is unacceptable, to be honest. Happened in the second half, we created a lot of chances. Great. I see now Mario said that don't get on Conte, but however, just one thing, you cannot make the same mistake 4 times in one half of the season. It's ridiculous. Dude, Lazio, Napoli, to be honest, Napoli deserve a point. If everybody says other than this, they didn't watch the game. Betania, like he should have scored 1 at least of the chances at the end. He keeps making the same mistake. Against Madrid, 2-2, you are on top. They got scared. Everybody from their team defended. And then suddenly, you drop back and then you give them the whole field to play. You lost. To be honest, we went out of Champions League because we fell back after we draw 2-2 against Madrid. That was it. If we got that point, we might have better chance talking about other circumstances and stuff. But the same mistake. Dropping back and bringing Gagliardini and Perisic. There is one thing that I'm not sure if everybody noticed. Perisic was pointing to Gagliardini and Brozovic, and no one knew who to mark or where to go. That's after 2-1. They didn't know. I think they was brought to the game, and Perisic was supposed to be a forward, but he found himself in the midfield without knowing, should I mark this guy or should I be on the left, in the middle? Who's going to be where? I think my take is, if you're talking to any football fan who watched the game, they loved the game. For any Inter fan, they're like, we lost 2 points. Yes, but before the game, it's the same as if you ask a Milan fan, would you take a 4th spot before the season started? They would say, absolutely, we'll do it. If you tell me we'll take 1 point from Roma away they're having ridiculously great performances week on, week out. Like, it's great. Take 1 point from this game, move on, prepare to the Juve game, who are absolutely ready. They played Sassuolo. I'm not sure if everybody watched the game. They got dominated, man. They got dominated. Yeah. Dude, Sassuolo should have tied this game if it was not that Kirsic guy fluffs his line or like just decides that I'm not going to kick this ball. I'm just going to leave it and somebody will clear it. But anyway, I think what Mari said, take the point from Roma and then go home, prepare for Juve, play the subs, play the Ranocchias and the other guys against Fiorentina in the midweek, and just give yourself a break and move on from this and learn. I hope that Conte learns, though, guys. I hope that Conte learns.
I gotta say one more thing, because I have to reiterate so many times, apparently, that we have to not take these games against the Romas, the Milans, the Juves, and even like the Napolis, where we drop points against these teams. These aren't the teams that we need to necessarily beat, like 2 games, both away and home. You take a point, fine. It's the other teams. It's everyone from was it like 5th, 6th, 7th, those teams below. No, I mean Roma. What are they like? They're like 5th or 6th right now, right? Everyone like below Roma. Those are the must-win games. Like, I'm more upset that we lost to Sampdoria. Sure, because that's where I say you have to win all the games except for the 2-3 big games that you have a year. Roma's one of them. They creep in there like they should be a win, but as we've seen historically, it always ends in a tie. So you got to just write it off, take the tie, move on, win the next games. The Fiorentina game must win. The Udinese games, those stupid games, must win all the time. But yeah, that's that.
Fair enough. We're going to be looking at a couple of things to talk about besides, Inter's mentality and besides the result today, because our next match that we're going to be speaking about is the Derby d'Italia. Now, I'll talk a little bit about the Coppa Italia later on with whoever wants to stay on, but I'd like to move straight across to the Derby while we're still talking about Serie A. So as a couple of these comments go in, some of them serious, some of them not so serious. Christian Rivas shares some fries as he looks all stressed out. Let's move ahead to the Derby d'Italia against Juventus. It's going to be rough because, as Mo just said, they were actually pretty crap against Sassuolo, and Sassuolo had the upper hand before their man got sent off, and then it was a red card, and then Juventus obviously dominated possession, but Sassuolo weren't going away for any money whatsoever, as they won't to any team at all this season. So as we move into the Derby versus Juventus, we need a result. A draw won't be the worst thing in the world, because drawing to Juventus isn't the worst thing in the world. We didn't get anything from them last season, and I think the season before we only got 1 point. That Raja Nainggolan strike on the 6th minute from outside the box, that was the only point that we got from Juventus that season. So, with the way that we've performed in the last couple of games, I guess I'll take a point against Juventus, but then that means losing track of Milan at the top as well. So I'll go straight away to Christian Rivas. Are you okay to comment on the Derby d'Italia, bro?
Yeah, I'm okay to comment. I'm just having issues over here. But honestly, I think we win that joint. I'm not too – I don't think we're going to lose it. I think that Conte is going to rest everybody, like I said at the beginning. He's going to rest them during the Fiore game and play the Ranos and all them fools. The issue is you also got to look at our wingbacks, dude. Everybody's hurt. All you really have is Kolarov as a sub. If Damian doesn't get better, he left out injured early. I think we get the win, though.
Fair enough. But what makes you say we're going to get the win, bro? Who do you think's going to step up? We've got the luxury of not having any injuries at the moment besides D'Ambrosio, so he's not going to get us out of jail whether or not we need him.
I think it's going to be Conte.
Yeah?
I think he's going to outclass Pirlo.
Well, you'd really hope so, because it might not look so good if he doesn't.
I think he outclasses him.
Yeah, fair enough. Mo, let's go straight over to you. How do you think we're going to approach the Derby d'Italia? Do you see us going on the front foot at all? I'll make a comment before you go on and talk about where you think it's going to go. I, for one, am just sick of seeing us go behind first. I miss when we were scoring goals really early and we were able to control the tempo because the other team was coming at us. But always playing from behind is really, really killing this team mentally and physically. We need to go above and beyond to get that equalizer and that winner, and more than often it's just not enough. So can we dream and think Inter's going to come out and take the upper hand at all in this derby against Juventus, bro?
I hope so. I hope that we I don't think we're going to control the whole game. I think they have really good players, though. We just be honest with ourselves. Sometimes they turn up. My thing is, I've been watching Juve most of the time, and I don't know which team is going to turn up. Sometimes they play with 3 in the back, they're good. Sometimes 4 in the back, and also they're okay. You don't know who's going to turn up. Is McKennie is going to play, or Bentancur? How are they going to play in the midfield? The difference between us and Juve is that we're very well predicted in terms of our plan. We're going to go with the same plan. We're going to play 3-5-2. They can make an anti-plan for us. But I don't think that we're going to know how they're going to play until like 1 hour before the game. Even at sometimes they play Danilo as right back, and sometimes he plays as like a center back next to Bonucci, and they play 3 in the back. I hope that we turn up with a good desire like the 25 minutes that we showed against Roma today. If we turn up like this, we'll get something out of this game. I think we'll get something, and I hope that the referees are on our side. I don't want to talk about this because I shared something today about Barella that I thought he got fouled before their goal, but they don't show you this in the replay. But I hope that we turn up good, man. Like as Christian said, Conte has to out-tactic Pirlo. Otherwise, there is no point of paying Pirlo this amount. I'm paying Conte 12 million. Otherwise, there is no point. There's no big coach and small coach. everybody's the same.
Fair enough, man. Look, I can't really argue with anything you say there. He's got to have his number, Pirlo's number on the day, experience-wise, but it's not like Conte really looks at the salary before signing a deal and goes, yeah, I'm worth this much exactly right. He's just going to sign the deal, man. It's not a fair metric to measure on at all, Mo. So, yeah, I would agree right there. Mario, you're up next. Derby, Juventus. What's going on, man? DeMario. You've been right recently. You've gotten a few games right recently. I think you buckled the Sampdoria. I don't think you predicted us to go down there. But other than that game, you've been pretty good this season.
Yeah, the Sampdoria game, I think I had a 2-0 for us. You know, whatever. I think everybody had that for us, pretty much, except for maybe like owner of Sampdoria. You know, he probably predicted a 5-0 win. Who knows? But for Juve, I was watching them today against Fiorentina. Who is it? Sassuolo. They look bad. They did not look good. Weston McKennie came off after 18 minutes. Dybala got hurt also. So they're going to have some knocks going into us for sure, I think. I don't think they'll be at full strength. So they're going to have to figure their shit out. They're going to have Chiesa obviously flopping around, doing his thing. But I don't know. They played – the only reason why they beat Sassuolo today was because they had a man up. Because one of the midfielders got a stupid second yellow. Nonsense, you know, like not it was warranted yellow, but whatever. I'm not gonna go into that. I think we have a good chance. We don't. It's not like we're playing horrible where it's like I can completely write us off yet. So I kind of have a little confidence. You know, Conte is going to show up for this game if anything because he has to beat Juve. You know, going kind of tracking back to that salary thing. It's not up to him to justify 12 million. Like, sure, it's a lot for a coach. It's the most by miles, but it's not like Inter could have said no to him, you know? That's what they wanted. They were willing to play just to sign him because they believe that he's the right man for the job, whatever price it takes. He said 12 million. They said, fine. No manager's worth 12 million. Doesn't matter who you are. Mancini, Klopp, anybody. Nobody's worth 12 million. Not even close, but they wanted to pay that for him. They were willing to take 12 million on the budget because this is their guy, and they believed in him. Marotta believed in him. We believe in him as much as they wanted to pay that for him. Exactly. So, you know, like I think Conte is going to have something up his sleeve for Juve. He might, even if it's the same vanilla formation and tactics that he's been using all year. They're going to, like Mo said time and time again, they're going to have to adapt to us. Pirlo's team is weak this year. They're not good. So he's going to have to play up to Inter standards. We're not going to have to play down to them. And then going into the game, as it progresses, then we'll see what Conte does because his substitutions have been questionable. And I see the comment from my man Patouche. Coaches aren't on the field at the end of the day. It's the players. And I've said this I don't know how many times. If Hakimi crosses the ball into Lautaro and Lautaro hits the ball with the left foot, hits the crossbar, what does Conte have to do with that? Conte puts the ball in the net. He holds the controller. No, he does not for the 1,000th time. He sets them up to succeed, right? If the forward mishits the ball and it goes out of bounds on an open goal or he hits the crossbar or he misses a penalty, that's not on Conte. People have to realize that. It doesn't make any sense to blame him. If you watch the game, then you can't blame Conte. The only thing you can say is, why are you using Gagliardini? Why'd you play Kolarov in the beginning of the season? Fine, I understand that, but he was just trying to figure something out. Like, I can track back all I want, but if you look at how Bastoni and Skriniar play, Kolarov was doing that, and Kolarov does that better. The problem was defensively, he was a liability in the center back spot. Like I said, it works, it doesn't work. You tried it out, and you have to use what we got.
Look, speaking of using what we got, I got to mention we do have the Coppa Italia against Fiorentina midweek before that game. So I wanted to touch on squad rotation with you boys because I know you boys are good to talk about that. We're going to have to play not a completely different side against Fiorentina, but we're going to have to bring a few people in to start. So I'm going to start with Christian, man. Who are you bringing in for Fiorentina to save for Juventus, bro? All you.
Damn, that's kind of tough. I mean,
It
I
is
for
tough,
sure
bro.
bring in Sensi, Alexis, Perisic. Bro, I dead ass would put like a whole B squad. Like, I'm not even gonna fake. I'd rather just save everyone for Juve. But you're gonna have to put a couple starters in there because if D'Ambrosio wasn't hurt, I'm starting him as a center back. Ranocchia as well as a center back. You'll probably start Bastoni. He's a younger one, so he's probably got more legs under him. Then maybe Skriniar on the back three. So yeah, Bastoni, Ranocchia, Skriniar, back three. On the wings, you might have to get stuck playing Kolarov and Hakimi because we have nobody else.
Perisic, no?
Nah, I was gonna start him up top.
Yeah.
Next to so you bench Lukaku and Lautaro
He
for this
pulled
game.
up last
Perisic
game.
and Alexis.
I'm not risking him.
So sorry, what'd you say, bro? I just missed that. I think we might have lost Christian, or is that just me?
I think we lost him. I think his fries got stuck in his camera.
Fair enough, bro. In terms of rotation, man, there he is. He's back.
Wow.
Go for it.
Yeah, but in the midfield, I'd probably go Sensi, Vidal, and Brozovic. I'm giving Barella a rest because that man just takes a beating. Up top, I already said Alexis and Perisic. It is what it is. Crucify me if you want. I don't care for Coppa Italia.
Fair enough. Mo, we're going straight over to you, man. Big game against Juventus. Need your likes of Lukaku to be 100%, Barella to be 100%, De Vrij, and whoever else that you consider essential, even your Hakimi. So, Mo, where are you going into Fiorentina lineup-wise, man? Who gets the nod for you?
Do you know the first thing I'm thinking about in Fiorentina? One thing. I want to see Rado in goal, to be honest. I want to see Rado in goal. I want to see this.
Not gonna happen.
Bro, I didn't even want to bring that up. I didn't even want to go there. I didn't want to be
It's not gonna happen. There's no shot Handanovic's bench for this year.
I'm looking at the schedule, man, and I'm thinking, Coppa Italia, this is our time. I want to see this guy. I don't want to see the man can challenge in goal again. I just want to see Rado.
We all want to see him.
I want to see how good this guy is.
If he has a clean sheet, I'm going to buy a Radu jersey, bro. We should all just buy one.
Yes. Yes. Let's do it. Let's do it. Otherwise, I think, Christian, you forgot Ericsson, man. You got Mario here. It's going to be pissed.
I did it for a reason.
Ericsson's going to start. Ericsson's going to start.
Ericsson's going to start. Imagine that. I can't imagine.
You know why? I hope Ericsson plays really well this game. Dude, we got to sell the guy. For his sake, forget us. Okay, forget us. I like the guy. He's a nice guy. I just want this guy to be sold to a decent club and not be loaned to a shitty club, to be honest. I just want... So if he has a good performance in this game, he might somebody might come in for him and knock the door and say, hey, yeah, we'll give him a chance for 6 months and we'll pay his salary, who's half a year. We'll save us some money.
We are a horrible selling club, though. We are very bad at that. Go on, Christian.
But didn't Conte say that nobody's leaving and nobody's coming?
Yeah.
You that serious? We're going in and we're leaving the same exact squad. Nobody's leaving.
Can you before I go back to Mo about something else, can you just touch on Conte's press conference post Roma, Christian? Because I know you tuned into that, man. So I thought it was pretty interesting, but I was in and out of it. So you might just want to tell the people listening, pretty much what the focal point of Conte's post-match presser was against Roma.
No, I mean, I agreed with what he said on his press conference too. He said, I literally went skill for skill. It's not like I changed anything. It was literally you took out Vidal for Gagliardini, the same exact type of player. You took off Hakimi for Kolarov, another wingback. It's not like he did something that was completely different. People were saying Sensi, but you got to remember, Sensi and Vidal are not the same player. So at that point, you're giving up a defensive shield to be more attacking. So you're giving your back line a liability right there. That's just my personal opinion on it. Because Sensi's going to be pushing up high. So you got to look at what the man is thinking. He's not wrong. Then he touched on their mentality, and he was like, dude, I'm sitting there shouting. Everybody on the bench is shouting to push forward, and they're all dropping back. they're all going back to defend. They keep going deeper and deeper. And when a team is losing, they're going to keep pouncing on you and attacking you and attacking you and attacking you. He touched on it. It's a mentality thing. It's a mentality they got to get out of because every big team does not have that mentality. Dude, when you score on Bayern Munich and they're up 2-1, what are they going to do? They're going to look for the third and the fourth. This Inter doesn't look for the third and fourth. Even though Conte tells them to look for the third and fourth, they don't. They regress and they're like, shit, we better hold on to the 2-1 before we're getting crucified by all the fans again.
So whose fault is this, Christian? Whose fault is this? Just I want, because it's fans. Whose fault is it? Is it the mentality, coaching outside?
Okay,
Because
there's certain things you cannot coach and teach into a person. I cannot teach you to be a killer. You either have it or you don't. If you don't sit there and you're on the pitch and say, yo, let me grab my nuts and push forward and try to get another goal, it is what it is. I can't sit there and tell you, like, yo, you need to do this and you need to have that winning mentality and you need to have a killer instinct. I can tell you it, but it's not going to instill in you. You need to have that. You need to learn how to grow it. Didn't Ranocchia go through a whole little mental coach? Didn't he have his own little psychiatrist that helped him with all that type of stuff? That's not on the coach. That's not his job. He's not Dr. Phil. He's not Oprah Winfrey.
Oh, man. Fair enough, bro. I get exactly what you're saying. I brought up this comment from whoever Dil Cal is. I have a feeling Mario's brought this guy in 100%. It's got Mario written all over it. But thanks for contributing heaps, man. Lautaro needs to stop wasting chances, who have moments of looking world-class, followed by games where he looks useless. I believe you also commented before, are you guys going to talk about Handanovic? Dude, if this is your first time on the channel, that's fine. I've been talking about Handanovic nonstop for like 18 months now. So just to fill you in, yes, he kind of needed to be replaced yesterday. Just make sure Mario's muted so he doesn't cut me off here. At the end of the day, man, it's not nothing personal. It's biological for me. It's reaction time. Your reaction time is poorer because you're older. So that's all that's happening. Like for today's second header, I watched that ball go in slow motion. And I don't care what anybody says. That ball bounced and went straight past him as he looked at it go past. You can try harder than that, man. It's like he's scared now to jump. He knows. Yes, Christian.
The second goal as well, he kind of just like,
that's what I mean. The second goal. Yeah, the second goal.
The first one was worse.
The first one was a huge deflection. I thought it was bad when I saw it. But then when I watched it, I don't know, man. He still could have done a little bit better on both. So, what about Lautaro? Mo, I'll go over to you.
Yeah, just one thing I want to add. One thing I want to add about that, about Handanovic thing, and then I'm not going to talk about it again. Some of his not jumping acts is because his positioning is becoming worse and worse. People do not realize this. People think, oh, the ball is far. Bro, it's not far. You are positioned. I play a lot of soccer and I coach kids and I do a lot of things. It's all about the positioning. The guy has lost it. He's always in the middle of the goal. You're talking about the deflection? Yes. Okay. If it was not deflected, he didn't even have that good position to block it. He didn't. He was in the middle of the goal. The ball is on the left. He's always like covering the far angle instead of the near post. It's becoming a habit of him just standing in the middle of the goal. This is people say, oh, it's far. Yes, it's far because the guy's not closing the right angle. So this is what I want to see from him. At least, bro, move your feet. You're not 55. Yeah. I'm sorry. You're not 55. Some goals are 40 years old.
I like this guy. I like this guy.
I thought you would, bro. I thought you would. From a goalkeeping perspective, he's got to show a little bit more urgency, man. But I want to just bring up something that Mario brought up last time. The reason Handanovic is staying on the pitch for all these minutes isn't necessarily for his shot-stopping ability anymore. It's for his communication with the back three and the way he's able to keep them settled as well. Now, one might argue, well, it's not working pretty well at the moment, is it? And that's where I'd come in and say, no, it's not working that well. So there's another reason why you could drop him to the bench, possibly for Radu. But I would also agree with a lot of fans if they do say we just need to see the season out with Handanovic and drop him as our number two next season. And I hope that does happen. Now, I'm okay with Handanovic starting majority of games this season, but as the boys have all agreed, Coppa Italia, send Radu in. If we've got a game against a team in relegation zone or a team that maybe doesn't register many shots on target, send Radu in. A low-pressure game. Give the guy a chance, because I don't want to wait till next season and be sitting here going, I wonder if Radu's good enough to be our number one or our number two. We should know that about our players. That's it. We should know that about our players. And something that's always vexed me about our time with Inter, we seem to make a habit of putting players on our roster that have absolute no practical use. And that really pisses me off. I would rather you go and get a player for $100,000 or 100,000 euros than spend on someone big and just play them, utilize them, because they're our assets, show their money's worth. Sensi broke his leg watching this stream. Probably. Joey, Mario is the best. Joey Bianca, of course. So after we talk about transfer market, which we're in the middle of right now, I don't think we're going to have any signings that come in for us in this mercato, and I've already heard from Mario. So Christian, you can go next, bro. Do you think Inter's going to bring anybody in, and do you care to comment for the Papu Gomez rumors, which have pretty much died in the ass the last few days?
I've always been a Papu Gomez fan. I've always said that he was top 3 in the world right after Messi and Ronaldo. I wish he came, but he's not going to. It's just, it is what it is. There's no money. We're broke. We're literally broke. All I got is a quick way VIP card, and that's it. That's how broke we are. And then if you ever need to use a train in Milan, I still got the card. I don't know why.
So zero. No one coming in, no one going out.
Nope. Conte and Marotta both said it already. Nobody's coming. They said this back in August. Nobody's coming. The only person that came was in April, and that was Hakimi. Nobody is coming or going. Fino al fin, as Mario says.
I reckon. You see who scored another goal this morning? Left wing back Mario for Parma.
Di Marco scored again?
That's it, man.
He's not coming back. Okay. Let him
Come
score.
back. Christian, what are your thoughts on Di Marco, bro? Heaps of coaches haven't wanted him, so we might as well not give him another chance. Yeah, I've heard that before. Mo, what about you? Would you bring back DeMarco?
I like DeMarco, but to be honest with Conte, it's there's something called been there, done that. He has been there last season, and the guy doesn't like. He's like, why would try? When Conte resigns or gets fired or see out his contract, maybe we'll bring DeMarco. But I have a question. Maybe you guys know better. Do we have the option that it's like in England where you can call back your loanee mid-season? We don't. In Italy, we don't. Because in England, they're allowed to do this. They're allowed to do this.
I think it has to be in the transfer window, if anything.
Yeah.
It can't be.
It has to be during the transfer market.
So we can do it now. We can do it now.
We could, technically, yeah.
Okay, because that's a big deal. Because I don't know, that Darmian looked a little bit like, okay, the hip thing, the hip thing can stay long. I don't know. They haven't said anything. But if Darmian is out, we have no, and Perisic is basically, Conte said, I'm done with you as a wing back. You're a forward, because Pinamonti is back in the garage. Like, he's gone. He's leaving.
He sucks.
Yeah. I liked Pinamonti last season, but this season I don't think he's a big team player. He's like a mid-table team player, something like this. Like some players are just like this. They have to accept it. But anyway, so if Darmian is out for like 5 weeks or something, 4 weeks or a month, we need a wing back, because this guy Ashley Young, he's like done. I think so. Like he's gonna get injured or something. Like, he's old. He can't play. When that season comes back and we have 2 games and stuff, and we have to play Ashley Young, I think he's not gonna be able to play 90 minutes every game. Like, we have to. He's old.
He's still getting it done, dude. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
So you don't think
he's still getting it done? He's not as quick, but he's still getting it done. He's just a smart football player. It is what it is. You gotta use your strengths.
But you don't think
he's
most of the teams now.
He's not at the quality we want.
Yes. No. You need a big, to be honest, you need a big player. Like,
no,
I'm not saying
But I'm not bringing back DeMarco. DeMarco's not in the same conversation
I know.
as
No,
Ashley
neither.
Young.
That
Johnny
goes
Young
to
I
say,
think that's where this conversation is going. And,
Mm.
like, I agree with like 95% of what you say. This being the 5% I don't agree with.
mm.
DeMarco is not built for a team like Inter. He's come back from loans, and several coaches have been like, nah. So I don't see Conte being like, yes. It's not viable.
He didn't even like Biraghi.
Yeah, he didn't like Biraghi either, and Biraghi wasn't that bad. And thank God we didn't bring back Dalbert.
The fullback position, the wingback position, legitimately seems like the hardest position in the world to sign for.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Seemed
sir.
like that ever since I've been a fan. I think that must be the hardest position to sign someone, a fullback. And I don't get it. It's just always been tough.
So who do you guys think? To be honest, because next season we need a freaking left wing back. I want an answer. Who do you think we should go to? In my opinion, if we're gonna pay 10 million, Marcos Alonso, I like the guy in 3-5-2. I don't like the guy in a 4-4-2. Like he's not good enough. He was with Fiorentina and Vargas had him on the bench, if you guys remember, when he was younger.
Yeah.
I used to like Vargas better than him in 4, but then when he went to Chelsea, Conte transformed the guy into the best wing back in the world, hands down, scoring, crossing, like that winning title season. He was great. If we're gonna pay money, I can only see one wing back in the world, which is Marcos Alonso. I don't see like a 5 in the back wing back. People talk about Marcelo, and we have to be careful about Marcelo. We're not a retiring home. If Marcelo comes in, we're officially a retiring home for older.
If Marcelo comes in, you're better off keeping Ashley Young. It's legitimate, the same thing. Anthony, you remember we said this last season. We said Ashley Young is good for 2 seasons only.
That's
After
it, bro.
the second season, you got to get somebody. This
100%.
is the second
He's
season.
he's a makeshift. He's a stopgap.
So who do you guys think? Give me a name.
To be honest, I love seeing David Alaba being on the market, but that seems unrealistic. Like the guy is considered a titan, and when you play for Bayern that long, David Alaba seems like the kind of player that's going to move to a team like Madrid or Chelsea or City or, God forbid, Juve. Just one of those teams that's going to come up with big dog money, with huge money that goes, hey, you might be attracted to go to this club, but look at the kind of money we have. And that's where that's going to go. So I don't think that's unrealistic. If you're saying that Alonso is available, I'll take him because it's a clear upgrade on anybody. But he's not a smart option at all to me. I reckon he's got 1 good season, 2 good seasons good in Italy, and then he'll start to fade as well. As I said, it seems to be the hardest position in the country to fill. So I don't even know what else to say after that because I don't even like Emerson Palmieri. Christian, what are you saying? Look at you. You're like busting to say it.
I'm gonna say let's sign my boy Kevin Paredes from DC United. He's 17 years old. Americans are on the come up. Let's get my boy. Legit, no. But like, it's legit. My boy James's little brother. He cooks with DC, but he's 17. Why not? I mean,
he's got to get an EU passport.
Shit. You're right.
Yeah, he's 18. That's where they screw you.
He's about to turn 18.
Once he turns 18, then it's possible. But until then,
hey, Mario, I already gave it to my boy at Inter. I was like, look at my boy. Yeah. He's already playing for DC. Peep him. He's on the U.S. men's national team, U18 team.
There you go. There's some good names in the chat right now. Like my man Dylan saying, what do you say? Angelino from Leipzig, who used to play for NYCFC.
Or Guerrero from Dortmund, who is a good player, actually.
Yep, they're both good shouts. Angelino's very attacking. Defensively, I was always skeptical about him, so I don't know if Conte would like him.
We'd be looking at someone slightly more defensively because of how much Hakimi occupies the attack on the right-hand side, right? Isn't that what Conte likes to do? Likes to hold one wing back and not push them both up, as most people in a 3-5-2 would.
Yeah.
But I thought the whole point of playing 3 in the back is to push your wing backs as high as you can. Like Alonso and Moses. They were like both scoring. Tactically,
but I think that's always because he had Kante there to cover the back 3 better than anybody else in the league. Like that season that Kante had, that was probably one of the best. That was a Makelele-like season, bro. Honestly, that was legit.
One thing I want your opinion on, Mo. Brozovic, what's your opinion?
Brozovic,
Mhm.
he's a top passer, bro. He's like this guy's passing ability coming out from the defense. He's great, but defensively, if you notice, he's slow though. And the difference between him and Kante and someone like Kante, you can play Kante in a two-player defensive midfield. You can have Kante and Barella or Kante and Sensei and have three up top, two wingers and a forward. You cannot play Brozovic and one only next to him that will kill you in the midfield on the counters or anything like this. This guy, Kante, man, can cover. Yeah, did you guys see that? Fine.
I didn't
I'm
want
just gonna pass it. I'm just gonna pass it.
Yo, hold on. What is it? Dilja called. The only reason I said that is because it's my boy. Obviously, I don't know any left back in the world right now that I would bring to Inter. So I brought up my own boy that I helped raise and groom as a player. It is what it is. But anyway, back to what I was saying.
Anyway, guys, so
Brozovic, like he's just been so inconsistent. Like, don't get me wrong, I was a huge Brozovic fan, but this season you watch him and it's just like, bro, like your passing has just dropped off so much. Like before, you used to just hit pinpoint passes from like 30 yards away. Now he's just missing passes that are 10 yards away, 5 yards away. Like, what's his deal?
I think Brozovic, the only player that can bring the ball for Inter to play from the back is Brozovic, to be honest with you. The only guy that can take the ball from a defender's feet and bring it up is Brozovic. We don't have anybody else. Just we tried. We tried Barella and it didn't work. We tried Vidal and it was a disaster. I remember that game. It was a disaster. He was like the deepest midfielder and it didn't work at all. But to be honest, Brozovic forces the play to be three in the midfield. We cannot have that option about him and somebody else. He does not, to be honest, he's not a great defender. He's more of a 100 pass a game. He's a guy, a Jorginho type, but I like him more than Jorginho, to be honest. Like, this is my opinion about Brozovic. But he's not, but Christian, do you think like Brozovic can play like the through passes, the killer passes?
Yo, so he's shown that he can, but it's just a lack of consistency that's killing me. Like, yo, where Inter is at right now, we need consistency. We can't keep having that inconsistency. And I think that's why Conte wanted Conte, is because he sees the same thing a lot of us do. Like, yo, Brozovic, you can be great on your day, but that one day will be one day, and then you'll have 3 games where you're just,
He's become too inconsistent. Like, what was it? 2 years ago, he was really consistent under Spalletti's last season. He was the most consistent player. And basically, if he was good, we said it. If he was good, Inter is good. And the problem was he was good more often than not. Now he's not even good like half the time. Every other game, not every other game. Like we said, 1 good game, 3 bad games. It's getting really ridiculous. Like if you have him and Gagliardini in the midfield, like, sure, Gagliardini might open up a little bit for it, but he's a freaking waste on the ball. The problem is, I hate these players that all they are hardworking, and they have no freaking idea what the hell's going on. You pass him a ball, his foot's like a brick. It goes 10 yards off of him. Or he turns, he kicks the ball out of bounds. He gets to the other team, and you can't win like that. You have to have people that can hold the ball properly. If he's losing the ball, if he wins the ball and loses it every time he gets it, what's the point?
Hey, Mo, you watch Barca a lot, right?
A little bit. Now, this season, I watch a lot of Serie A, but I watch Barca a lot too.
Hey,
Yeah, go ahead.
Read that comment there by Min. He says, Firpo from a dying Barca. What do you think about Firpo?
He's a young kid. He can't bring a guy like this to challenge for the Scudetto, to be honest. Like, he's okay. He's not a starter for them. Like, he starts a game in, game out. Like, it's not like
they should integrate him for the future.
Would he be able to tactically adapt to Conte and Serie A quickly? I feel like he would take 3 years minimum.
Who? Somebody said that from I can't remember who, but someone said that they're very overpriced. The Barca players, man, they're like, oh, this guy Firpo is like 30 million. Like, dude, 30 million. The guy has 2 games. I played more games than this guy.
Well, they grow up in La Masia, you know, the what's it called? The academy. So like, oh, you came out of our academy, your default price is 35 million plus add-ons.
You guys saw thinking Manchester bought Amad Diallo.
He's not even starting for Atalanta. I was going to ask Christian about that, actually. How many games has he played for Atalanta this season?
Bro, I can only think of a handful. But yo, Jose Gaia is nice. I'll give you that. Gaia is nice, bro. I didn't even think about him. I don't even think you'd get him cheap. He definitely hit you for about 50 mil.
He's the captain.
You reckon that much?
He's the captain, guys. He's the captain for Valencia. He's the captain. It's very hard.
You're talking 50 mil there. We broke. We ain't got no money.
He plays for the. He plays.
Euros.
You know, he starts for the national team some games. Some games.
30 euros. That's all we got. We don't even got dollars. We're broke here. We can't afford that.
They're having a shit season, but Valencia. So they're like
he's still the captain.
But they got rid of all the players. Though we have to know this. People have to like understand that they got every player is out. They sold the whole team because they couldn't. They only kept two players. Two players only. Anyway, it's
Mohamed got a point.
What is
Brozovic is a moody player this season. He has more assists, but still is so inconsistent. Yeah, dude, that guy's he's doing the whole flappy of the arm thing in the 3rd minute and the 4th minute now. Like he's frustrated before the game even starts, bro. And I'm thinking, oh great, you've got a great attitude.
How do you think they tolerate that? That's what I want to know.
I don't know at all.
It doesn't make any sense.
Guys, I wanna. Anybody here watch Premier League?
No.
I watch Premier League, especially since I've been on holidays lately. That's pretty much what I tune into. There
is a forward in West Ham called Antonio. Did you guys know this guy? A monster. A monster. Changes the game. This is the only guy that I would spend money next season on. He's 30, but he will have 2-3 seasons next to Lukaku. With Martinez, this guy is gonna bring you something. He is amazing, a great player. If you don't watch, just go Google this guy and how he changes games. When he's injured, the team is out. West Ham is like they're playing like nobody up front. They have even sold that Sebastian Haller guy. But anyway,
fair enough. One thing I will touch on, you know how we've been a little inconsistent as of late. It's important to bring up that this season, like inconsistency is plaguing every single league. There is not a single team on the planet that is performing consistently. Every team is dropping points. Bayern Munich have had to come from behind like 4 out of their last 5 games. Yeah, did they lose this morning?
Yeah, 3-2.
Didn't they lose to Mönchengladbach as well? Only like 4 days ago. So have they lost 2 games on the bounce now? Oh, today. I thought they lost to them a few days ago.
Who? Wait, what's this?
Gladbach. Did they beat Bayern Munich?
They beat Bayern Munich. They were losing 2-0. They were winning yesterday.
Yeah. And then it became 3-2. It was yesterday, I think. Yeah,
it was actually Friday. Yo, you forget. We're in the past, we're in the future.
I was home.
This week they lost, but RB Leipzig lost as well to Dortmund. That's why Bayern Munich stayed up top. I watched both games. That's just dude.
Yeah. All right. We'll sign off on this topic here because I'm sure this will get us through another 5 or 10 minutes at least. Min says thoughts on Sunning's businesses having financial difficulties. Can't sign anyone if the owners have no cash flow. Are we really having as many difficulties as the media is playing out, or is the club being proactively cautious towards the pandemic-stricken environment? In which case you can't just go, oh yeah, 30, 40 million, let's splash. Christian.
Remember, Sunning is owned by is a Chinese company.
Yeah.
China said they don't want Chinese companies investing outside of China right now in the COVID world. That's probably why Sunning is low-key probably trying to find another investor because they can't invest money because China told them they can't invest money outside of China. It's just, it is what it is. So I would not be surprised on that.
So you think Sunni's just going to hedge their way through another brand and just pump some money through there indirectly, and then maybe they can fund it back into us? That's very optimistic of you as always. That's what I want.
I'm saying that Sunny is probably trying to sell Inter like they're saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that they're trying to find somebody else to come hedge money. No, I'm saying they probably are looking for buyers for Inter because China told them they can't spend money anymore outside of China. Unless things randomly change,
So what do you think is going to happen then, and who do you think would come in to buy? I haven't done any research in ownership or interest at all.
Wasn't that deal though way before COVID? Wasn't that dating to last season, where the Chinese companies couldn't invest into soccer anymore?
No, it wasn't that they couldn't invest into soccer because that had to do with the Chinese Super League. It didn't have to do with them investing in soccer in general. That was the Super League. What it was because of COVID, all the economies took a big dip, and everything's like beyond recession right now. We're looking at like a complete crash where the Chinese companies said, we don't want you investing money outside of China. We need to keep our economy going and growing. You need to spend money here. So
they're definitely selling. Is that what's the word there? Just because it's very confusing out there if you start reading the news.
So of course Sonny's gonna deny. But don't ever think there's not some truth to it, because China did tell their companies outside of China to not invest money. Let me look that article up.
Okay.
It's worrying if that's the case, because I feel like there was a project really being pushed in a certain direction. But at the end of the day, Mario, how much do you think a change of ownership would change the direction of the club in terms of on the pitch success?
It could do a little bit. We saw under what was it? So here where he kind of was just making those rash decisions like to bring in De Boer 2 weeks before the season just because he liked him, sort of nonsense. So it could have a little bit of an effect there. They could, not like the way Conte does things or whatever the case is. Maybe they don't like how much he gets paid. Because we still have Spalletti also on the payroll and all that. So I feel like there might be a little shift in direction, but we have the blueprint there, and I feel like as long as they keep most, if not all, we should be able to keep going the same way, unless they completely want to clean house, which I don't think they would want to do, because we're making progress, and if you look, we're going in the right direction. Right after COVID, Inter's going to be a money machine again, because you're gonna sell out the stadium. People want to come see Lukaku. They want to come see other games. Even before we're still, like I said, we're still in a good state. We're second place. The team is super competitive. Whether you want to win Scudetto or Coppa Italia, obviously Coppa Italia is not really going to be much of an issue, especially with the Juve game crawling behind your back. But at the same time, Conte might still want to push for every cup he could possibly win, just so he could say he won something before he leaves.
The one thing I want to add before I know Christian wants to tell us about the article is that I think that what's going to encourage Suning to maybe sell is that the brand is actually gotten bigger. Our brand is much bigger in the world, everywhere. Here, we're talking about it here. I was talking to people before about Inter. It's far. Nowadays, everybody hears about Inter. Even though we got out of the Champions League group stage, we're still a bigger brand than 3 years ago or 2 years ago. And that might play a big effect on if they are able to sell and who is coming, who has the money. Because when Tuher came, the club was cheap. This is why he was able to get a control of the club. But nowadays, it has to be a bigger franchise to be able to take care of the club because the brand is bigger.
Yeah, fair enough, man. What do you got, Christian?
So reading on the internet, of course, there's an article here on the jonesday.com talking about how China wants to concentrate on more foreign investors coming into China and local China companies spending more in China in order to grow their economy and surpass the United States as an economical power in the new economy because of, again, COVID world. All the economies in the world are in a huge recession and everything. So pretty much there is some truth to it. It doesn't necessarily say that they're banned from investing in other countries, but it does say that they want more investing here. And pretty much the new law indicates that China is maintaining its commitment to further open up its market and boost inbound foreign investment and local investment. Several key changes under the new laws, such as national treatment of foreign investment subject to the negative list protection. Yeah, so pretty much just like, they kind of want them spending more money in China to build their economy up.
Fair play. We'll just have to see what happens, man. Just one of those things where I'm sure it'll be in the background throughout the rest of the season. But Before we head off, I'll do the painful thing and ask for a couple of predictions in case these faces don't appear on the channel again before the Juventus game. So, first of all, Mo, your prediction for Fiorentina and then for Juventus as well.
Penalties for Fiorentina.
Cool.
And I don't know, penalties, and Handanovic is gonna redeem himself in penalties. I hope
what's mad? What's mad? We go through so much on-field bullshit and drama as Inter fans that penalties doesn't scare me one bit. I wouldn't flinch if we went to that. Even if we lost. If we lost in penalties, I'd be like, yeah, so the hell what, bro? I've seen worse than this. I've seen way worse than this. So penalties, I can get behind that for some excitement.
And for Juve, I think it's gonna be 2-2.
Goals. Would like to see some goals, man. Mario, what about you?
I would love to see penalties in the Fiorentina game because I know Handanovic will save 3 or 4 of them because he's a monster with penalties, and I trust him with my life in a penalty shootout. Not that I don't think we've ever seen him in 1 or 2, maybe, I forget. But I would love for penalties, regardless of the score. We win or lose, I just want some penalties. For Juve, I think we could win a 2-1. I think we could win. Won't be a disaster class, I don't think. If there's one game that Conte will show up for, it's Juve. Hopefully he doesn't get out-coached. That's the only thing, or not out-coached, but I hope he doesn't try too hard to fix what's not broken like he sometimes does, especially in a game as big as that.
Fair enough. Christian Rivas, your predictions, please.
1-0 Fiore, 2-0 Juve. Goals by Lukaku and Hakimi.
So you think we beat Juve 2-0? Very optimistic, bro. Very optimistic. Look, we dumped Fiorentina out of the Coppa Italia. I think it was in the quarterfinals last year. We needed Barella to bail us out of that. For some reason, I see them putting in their game of the season against us, just like they did against Juve. So I think it could go to extra time or penalties. But I'm going to say that we progress in extra time or penalties just because we've got the legs. However, you're never going to get someone like me to predict a win against Juve. I've seen way too many shitty fixtures against them, man. Some of the worst ones are still fresh in my memory. So I'm going to say that we lose to Juve 1-0 at the very most. That we'll get a point. What Brazil jersey am I wearing?
Ronaldo.
Ronaldo, 1998 World Cup. You can tell.
That's not a Fred jersey?
There's no fifth star yet. There's still only 4. So, yeah, 1998. It's a nice one, man. Mario, do you have this one? Or you've just got him in an Inter kit?
I have him in the Inter one. The 1999, I think it is, 2000.
Nice. Christian's going to check if he's got a Brazil jersey with Ronaldo on the back somewhere.
No, I got Argentina with Batigol.
Nice. No, I like your little collection in the back there, man. Do you have any names on the back of those ones?
Actually, I have. I only have numbers. I only have number 7. Because that's my number in every club I play at, and it's my lucky number. But I don't have names. I support the club.
Yeah, we get it. Trust me, you're talking to people who just have some sort of weird addiction where we got to get names on the back of all our jerseys. And you know what? We just bite the bullet, man. If it fails, it fails. Tell him, Mario.
I got to get my Ericsson jersey still. I'm due for one.
So can someone tell me the name of the worst jersey, like the player that you got a jersey with a player's name, but the player just flopped completely.
We've had this chat before at some point in the last year and a half. But Christian, do the dance for Mo. What are some of your misses?
Shaqiri, Gagliardini, let's see, Hernandez.
Oh my god!
That was on a coin flip. I lost a bet on that one. Me and my boy Leland were sitting there like, what jersey should you? He's like, you should get a Kovacic. I said, fuck that. I'd rather kill myself. Then he was like, all right, Kovacic or Hernandez. I was like, man, you flip a coin on it. Heads or tails, Hernandez. It could have been worse. It could have been Kovacic. So thank God for that.
Mario, Christian, go on.
I got a bunch. No, if anybody, I'm gonna say Shaqiri.
Yeah, that's a pretty dead one, man. What about you, Mario?
I was given 2 jerseys. I didn't buy them. I was given them for like a coaching thing. I got an Eder and a Perisic jersey.
A what?
Adair is dope, and Perisic wasn't bad.
Those
He's
are
not a
the-
flop. You can't
I
compare
don't
him to
think
flop,
Perisic
right?
is a flop.
No,
Perisic is not
no,
a flop.
but those are like the only bad players, I guess.
Hmm.
I like them. I personally, I like them, but those are like the only.
Yeah, no,
usually-
Perisic doesn't count as a bad player.
Yeah,
If we're going off of that, I got Ranocchia and D'Ambrosio. That's
I
my
mean,
captain, and that's my boy.
yeah. I mean, like I don't usually put player names on my jerseys. I had
And I got Rafinha. What's up?
Oh, nice one, bro.
like I only have like one Zanetti jersey. I have my D'Ambrosio jersey, obviously, and I got a Slater fake one that I got from China, and I'm very upset that one turned to shit. Never buy Chinese jerseys.
Cheshe Nihama.
Yeah, I got the Eder Perisic. That's really it. I need to get a Quaresma and Ericsson, and my collection's complete.
Nice one, man. My worst one, it would just have to be the Eva Banega jersey I got that looked like the Sprite
Oh,
can.
I got that too. I got that too. I got Banega too, but I like Banega.
I love
so
him.
that
He's
counts.
so good. I don't even count him as a flop.
He's a good player, though. He's a good
He's a
player.
He's a great
He's a
player.
very good
but
player.
He was a player that I was so excited to come with. Like every time I saw that jersey, I just got memories of what might have been. So I just prefer to forget that it ever happened. He's one of those ones, quite like Quaresma.
Oh yeah, man.
Hey,
Quaresma's the best player.
you keep God's name out your mouth. Don't make
Yeah.
Mario cry here.
No Quaresma slander in this podcast
Mhm.
ever.
I was super keen when the rumors came out that we signed him, bro. We signed him and Frank Lampard in the same day, and then the Frank Lampard rumors took a big U-turn like the next day. Like we apparently signed Lampard the day we signed Quaresma, bro. Like right there, because Mourinho had just pretty much come in. The rumors were fresh.
Quaresma was never given a fair chance. You know, you can say what you want. He played like 4 games. That's not his fault.
All right, that's going to be it for today, I reckon. That was pretty good. Thanks to everybody that joined into the chat. Thanks to anybody that's watching live and who's going to be watching later on. Thank you very much to Mo for joining us as well, brother. We'll see you soon.
See you
All right,
guys.
time to go play Call of Duty. I'll get at y'all later.
All right, Matt. Thanks, Christian. Speak to you soon. And Mario. And from everyone here at Inter Worldwide, ciao ragazzi.
Dylan likes boys.
You like, man? Oh, no.